Hey, so today we're going to do something a little different. I'm kind of doing some voiceover, um, and you can watch me working with the puppies. So here we're starting to work on leash manners, and the goal is to keep the puppy from not pulling on leash and from not zigzagging from side to side, which is going to require you to have a fairly short leash. You can see how I have just enough space so that there's a little bit of slack in my leash, but I don't have a lot of extra leash between myself and Sophie. I'm luring her around right now with a treat to get to my side and having her start in a sitting position. And now I'm doing what we call reward zone, where I tap a treat to my hip and I slide it straight down my pant leg. I do that in a stationary position a lot to get the puppy comfortable looking up at me and giving me eye contact before we even start moving. And then I start adding steps, grab the leash, tell the puppy, let's go, and we start doing some movement, again with that treat sort of placed on my hip. And when she's giving me really nice eye contact, I slip that down straight into her mouth as we're walking. We want to try to make sure that we're delivering treats as we're moving. It's really hard. I think the most important thing to remember when we're working on leash manners is it requires an incredible amount of attention from your puppy to remain in a place. So now I'm adding some hand targeting just to get the puppy to do something else. I do that on and off as we're walking. And I do a lot of stopping and telling the puppy, go sniff or go play, or I let them just sniff along the sidewalks, not pay attention to me. But I give them permission to do that, and so that they're not kind of choosing to do that whenever they feel like it. So again, then breaking things up, adding a little bit of hand targeting. And it takes a lot of skill to be able to deliver these treats as you're moving. It takes probably more coordination than anything else that we're practicing with the puppy. And then I stop and tell the puppy, go play. And I let them, she doesn't really want to because she knows I have cookies, so she's not too interested. So now I'm switching puppies. I've got Ollie, and again, we're practicing that reward zone. It's kind of cool to see it from behind because you can see sort of how I put that treat up on my hip. And then she tried to cross over and back at me, and I just kind of used my leash to guide her back to the side. I just called her. Ollie's a boy. Ollie's a boy. Changing up your speed sometimes so the dog learns to adjust their pace to your pace. And you can notice I practice in really small circles. I actually like to practice this around the house even, down hallways. I like to practice out on a deck. Quite frankly, practicing leash manners when you're on an actual walk with a puppy is the worst place you can do it. And I know that seems counterintuitive, but the reality is that there are just so many distractions when we're out on a walk that until they get better, I try to practice in really non-distracting environments, like, again, my driveway. So both these puppies are wearing a front clip harness. They're different types, the one I have on Sophie versus the one I have on Ollie, but they both have a clip in the center of the chest, which is what you should be using for teaching leash manners. You don't have to use them for anything else, but it gives the puppy a lot of body language cues. As they pull forward, it turns their body back towards you. If you use a harness that has a clip that is in the center of the back, it basically allows your puppy to gain lots of momentum and use their body strength to kind of pull you forward or maneuver any way they want with a lot of comfort. That's why a sled dog wears a harness that has a clip on the center of the back. So we don't really encourage that for teaching leash manners. For every day, just getting in and out and around from a house to a car or whatnot. That's fine if you have a different type of harness. But for leash manner teaching, we want to stick with that front clip harness of one version or another. So again, practicing this should just be something that you do in little spurts. And when you're out on your walks, have some fun with it, and do it in 10, 20-second increments, and then let your puppy be a puppy for a while.